It's been over 20-something years since the first time I ever heard the song My Way at a memorial service. Some of you are very familiar with this song, and I'm thinking there's probably nobody young enough to not know it, but just in case, Frank Sinatra made it famous, and he talks about how he has lived his life and did it my way. But the line that stays with me is, regrets, I've had a few. And then again, too few to mention. And that made me think in terms of Holy Week. Because it seems like to me that Holy Week is a week of stepping out and then stepping back. And I have found that that is a recipe for regret in my own life. When I make a decision, when I am called out into stepping out, and then somehow after I am out say, oh, this is too much for me, I can't do this, and then I step back again. Holy Week begins with the hosannas of the crowds around who sing, blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord. And it begins with that great celebration of people who have stepped out in a great hope that the Messiah is coming and that the Messiah will be everything that they want the Messiah to be. And then as the week goes on, and it turns into the long look at how the Messiah's way of the world is very much not the Roman way of the world. And the power of the Roman government becomes stronger and stronger. People begin to step back and step back and step back into the shadows, regretting what they have done on the morning of Palm Sunday, wishing that they had stayed at home, wondering what are going to be the consequences of what has happened, until at the end of Holy Week on Golgotha, as Jesus is crucified, there are only 3 people there with him, because everyone else has regretted that initial exuberance, that calling out of hope that was theirs when they thought the Messiah was coming. But they made one big miscalculation. And that miscalculation is the thing that frees them in the end. And that miscalculation is that God has a vision for the Messiah that is very far outside their vision for a Messiah. They are so used to a way of life that is my way. And the my is whoever has the most power. The my is whoever has the most to gain. They are the ones who get to say, we do it my way. And they are looking for that Messiah who is going to do it their way. Instead, God has shown them on the cross a Messiah that they can't see yet because it's so different from what they had anticipated. It's not until the cross that you and I truly see that we sometimes fool ourselves into regret. And that the regret is because of the great gift of grace of God. The regret is not something that we have to carry with us unresolved for all of our lives, for all of every eternity that belongs to each one of us. Regret leads us in its finest form to apology, to confession, to repentance, and then to new life. And so Holy Week, with its initial bravery of the welcome to Jesus in Jerusalem, does take us back into the shadows again. But it is in the shadows that we can find that regret is not the author of our lives. That God has a way forward for us. And as we wait during Holy Week, anticipating a last meal with Jesus, anticipating the anguish of cross, anticipating the evidence of new life of Easter, as we wait, we do not have to stew in regret. Instead, we too can apologize. We too can confess. And in those things, open ourselves up to what God has for us. In preschool chapel, I told the children that we will have more people in church this Sunday than we have any other Sunday of the year. It's because we see a future on Easter Sunday that is lived in full view, out of the shadows, a respite from regret, and an open door to repentance, to apology, to confession, and putting behind what we have tossed away and gathering up what God has given to us. This coming Sunday, we have 3 worship services. The first is on the beach at Sullivan's Island at 6:45, and the second at 9 o'clock in the sanctuary, and then 10:30 in the sanctuary as well. Look into the Hidden Happenings for more words on that and to see the differences in those 3 worship services.